Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Vishal, for joining. Thank you, Adi Krishna Prabhu. So we are continuing the purport that His Grace Suvarnabhindra Prabhu started yesterday. This is Canto 2, Chapter 1, Text 11, 2:1:11. I will read the verse and translation and then continue the purport where we left off. Please repeat after me. एतन्निर्विद्यमानानाम् इच्छतामकुतो भयम् योगिनां नृपनिर्णितम् हरेर्नामानुकीर्तनम्. Translation. O King, constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord after the ways of the great authorities is the doubtless and fearless way of success for all, including those who are free from all material desires, those who are desirous of all material enjoyment, and also those who are self-satisfied by dint of transcendental knowledge. Srila Prabhupada purport. Continuing from second paragraph. Srila Jiva Goswami instructs the chanting of the holy name of the Lord should be loudly done. Srila Jiva Goswami instructs that chanting of the holy name of the Lord should be loudly done and it should be performed. And it should be performed offenselessly as well as recommended in the Padma Purana. One can deliver himself from the effects of all sins by surrendering himself unto the Lord. One can deliver himself from all offences at the feet of the Lord by taking shelter of His holy name. But one cannot protect himself if one commits an offence at the feet of the holy name of the Lord. Such offences are mentioned in the Padma Purana as being 10 in number. The first offense is to vilify the great devotees who have preached about the glories of the Lord. The second offense is to see the holy names of the Lord in terms of worldly distinction. The Lord is the proprietor of all the universes, and therefore He may be known in different places by different names. But that does not in any way qualify the fullness of the Lord. Any nomenclature which is meant for the Supreme Lord is as holy as the others because they are all meant for the Lord. Such holy names are as powerful as the Lord, and there is no bar for anyone in any part of the creation to chant and glorify the Lord by the particular name of the Lord as it is locally understood. They are all auspicious, and one should not distinguish such names of the Lord as material commodities. The third offense is to neglect the orders of the authorized acharyas or spiritual masters. The fourth offense is to vilify scriptures or Vedic knowledge. The fifth offense is to define the holy name of the Lord in terms of one's mundane calculation. The holy name of the Lord is identical with the Lord Himself, and one should understand the holy name of the Lord to be non-different from Him. The sixth offense is to interpret the holy name. The Lord is not imaginary, nor is His holy name. There are persons with a poor fund of knowledge who think the Lord to be an imagination of the worshipper and therefore think His holy name to be imaginary. Such a chanter of the name of the Lord cannot achieve the desired success in the matter of chanting the holy name. The seventh offense is to commit sins intentionally on the strength of the holy name. In the scriptures, it is said that one can be liberated from the effects of all sinful actions simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord. One who takes advantage of this transcendental method and continues to commit sins on the expectation of neutralizing the effects of sins by chanting the holy name of the Lord is the greatest offender at the feet of the holy name. Such an offender cannot purify himself by any recommended method of purification. In other words, one may be a sinful man before chanting the holy name of the Lord, but after taking shelter in the holy name of the Lord and becoming immune, one should strictly restrain oneself from committing sinful acts with a hope that his method of chanting the holy name will give him protection. The eighth offense is to consider the holy name of the Lord and his chanting method to be equal to some material auspicious activity. There are various kinds of good works for material benefits, but the holy name and his chanting are not mere auspicious holy services. Undoubtedly, the holy name is holy service, but he should never be utilized for such purposes, since the holy name and the Lord are of one and the same identity. One should not try to bring the holy name into the service of mankind. The idea is that the Supreme Lord is the supreme enjoyer. He is no one's servant or order supplier. Similarly, since the holy name of the Lord is identical with the Lord, one should not try to utilize the holy name for one's personal service. The ninth offense is to instruct those who are not interested in chanting the holy name of the Lord about the transcendental nature of the holy name. If such instruction is imparted to an unwilling audience, the act is considered to be an offense at the feet of the holy name. The tenth offense is to become uninterested in the holy name of the Lord, even after hearing of the transcendental nature of the holy name. The effect of chanting the holy name of the Lord is perceived by the chanter as liberation from the conception of false egoism. False egoism is exhibited by thinking oneself to be the enjoyer of the world and thinking everything in the world to be meant for the enjoyment of oneself only. The whole materialistic world is moving under such false egoism of I and mine. But the factual effect of chanting the holy name is to become free from such misconceptions. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshtarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mancha Kalpataru Kripa Sindhu Chakritanam Bhavane Vishnu. I seek your blessings, Vishal Prabhu, Adinath Krishna Prabhu, so I can speak following the mood of our Guru Parampara. This is a beautiful purport where we can reflect on the 10 offenses and try to improve our japa. I remember His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu when he visited us in the beginning, a couple of years ago, when the BYS project was starting. He gave a class on how to improve the quality of japa. So he said, one should become a japa scientist. Scientists always try to improve the technology, find defects in the current technology, and propose something new. So similarly, we should always be reflecting on our japa and find out what is the defect. How many of these 10 offenses am I committing? Because they are very subtle. So one should be very conscious of finding the defects in one's japa and then try to rectify them. That's a worthy profession for life. Just always meditate how my chanting is defective, or what is the problem, and how I can improvise every year, every month. So this is a very nice purport which gives us those 10 offenses. They are taken from Padma Purana. There is a one verse which is divided into 10, and then it helps us to understand the glories of the holy name and also the offenses that we should avoid. So I was thinking we can go over them one by one and try to cover as much as possible. These Padma Purana verses are given in the Shloka book also. So the basis of this verse is that Lord Krishna is not different from his holy name. He is identical with his holy name. So we can derive the same benefit that we derive from his personal association simply by chanting the holy names. And this is the short mean of, or doubtless way for fearlessness. Everybody is fearful in this material world. Why? Because we have some attachment. If there was no attachment, then we would not have any fear. Fear comes because we have fear of losing something that we have, or we are hankering for something that that may or may not happen. So people are either lamenting for something that they lost, or they might lose, or they are hankering for something. So they are fearful of whether this will happen or not. You know, whether I will get a job or not, whether I will get a green card or not in this. I have put so much effort in this, whether my investments will grow or not, or whatever I have gotten, will it be taken away? So this all leads to fear because of attachments. So Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha, Raga Bhaya Krodha. These are all together. You have attachment, then it will lead to fear, and then it will lead to anger also when the desire is not fulfilled, or you are not able to protect your assets, or you are not able to perform as you wanted to, it will lead to anger. So these are just together part of the package, Raga, Bhaya, and Krodha. And this is the short way to get out of it. Ichhata akuto bhayam, free from all doubts and fear. Kuta means, oh, there is a doubt. Kuta means what? It's asking something. Kuta. Akuta means it's without a doubt. Bhayam, and it's without any doubts, and it's free from any fear. This method is going to work not only for devotees but for anybody, even those people who are ichchatam, who have a lot of material desires, people who have no desires, and for those who want self-realization, who want self-satisfaction, yogis, for all of them. Prabhupada says in the purport, those who are progressive students in this path and those who are perfected students in these paths. For all of them, this is the short way for fearlessness. Mm. One devotee, Akshay Singh Prabhu, he was telling me this book called The Lone Survivor. There was an operation done by 6 or 5 Marines, the special force of US. They're very strong and they had a target in some Islamic country. So they went there and they killed the target. And then actually all the local population they were after this guy, these 5 people. And they actually, although they were not trained like these marine people, but they killed every one of them except one. Yeah, so he's the lone survivor and he wrote this book. So, of course, these military people, the Marines, they also killed a lot of people during that. But finally, only one survived who wrote this book. So, the Akshay Singh Prabhu was telling me that they have so much faith in Allah. They are always, whenever there's a attack, there's a bomb, there's a missile, they are always chanting Allah, 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 or they're always remembering the names of God. So that gives them so much fearlessness. They are ready to give their life. So we can see that it does not matter what name of God they are chanting. Anybody who chants the name of God gives him fearlessness, gives them courage to fight and to give their life. So it works for everybody to chant the holy names of the Lord. Apanna samsritim ghoram yannamo vivasho grinan tata sadyo vimuccheta yad vipeti swayam bhayam. So this is spoken at the uh, onset of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, maybe 11th or 10th verse. Please, I have to check the exact reference. But so sages are saying while posing queries to Suta Goswami, 1114. Living beings who are entangled in the complicated meshes of birth and death can be freed immediately by even unconsciously chanting the holy name of Krishna, which is feared by fear personified. So, such are the glories of Krishna's holy name. All the inauspicious things which may make us fearful from many, many millions of lifetimes, they can be taken away by the chanting of Krishna's names. Even unconscious chanting of Krishna's names, what to speak of conscious chanting. I want to read this verse from Canto 6, Chapter 2, Text 49, where the glories of Ajamila, who chanted the name of Krishna at the end of his life, Narayana, and he got a second chance, and then he went to Haridwar, he performed devotional service for 12 years. He actually was liberated, he went back to the spiritual world. So I will just read this text 49, 6 to 49. Mriyamano hare nama grinan putropacharitam ajamilopyaghadhama kim uta shraddhaya grinan. While suffering at the time of death, Ajamila chanted the holy name of the Lord, and although the chanting was directed toward his son, he nevertheless returned home, back to Godhead. Therefore, if one faithfully and inoffensively chants the holy name of the Lord, where is the doubt that he will return to Godhead? Purport. At the time of death, one is certainly bewildered because his bodily functions are in disorder. At that time, even one who throughout his life has practiced chanting the holy name of the Lord may not be able to chant the Hare Krishna mantra very distinctly. Nevertheless, such a person receives all the benefits of chanting the holy name. While the body is fit, Therefore, why should we not chant the holy name of the Lord loudly and distinctly? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If one does so, it is quite possible that even at the time of death he will be properly able to chant the holy name of the Lord with love and faith. In conclusion, one who chants the holy name of the Lord constantly is guaranteed to return home back to Godhead without a doubt. So, because of this reference, we see when so many devotees leave their bodies, even unconsciously, so many times the body is in disorder. But we hear from their god brothers or god siblings that this devotee has definitely returned home with to Godhead with Srila Prabhupada. He's serving Srila Prabhupada in the spiritual world. How can they say so confidently? Because of the Srimad Bhagavatam. They are not saying because of their own mental speculation. They are saying on the authority of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is saying, Shukdev Goswami is saying, if Ajamila went back to the spiritual world, what to speak of those people who are consciously and inoffensively chanting the holy names of the Lord? Even if they are not able to chant at the end of their life, Krishna will still take them back home. So there is no doubt that such people go back to the spiritual world, or as we know, they take birth in the training grounds where Krishna is performing their activities, but they are already part of Krishna's Leela to be ultimately transferred to the spiritual world. So such are the glories of the holy name. So knowing this, one should try to avoid these 10 offenses which can hamper our progress in the spiritual life. So these are the 10 offenses that we discussed in this purport. So we'll go over them one by one and try to get some more understanding. So the first is, this is from Padam Purana. सतां निन्दानाम्ना परममपराधं वित्नुते यथा ख्यातिं यातं कथमु सहते तद्विग्रहम्. To blaspheme devotees who have dedicated their lives to chanting the holy name of the Lord. The holy name, who is identical with Krishna, will never tolerate such blasphemous activities. So Krishna says in the pastime of Ambarish Maharaj, Durvasa Muni, that sadhavo hridayam mayam sadhunam hridayam tvaham madanyatena jananti naham tebhyo managapi. That the sadhus, the devotees, are in my heart. I am in the heart of my devotees. They do not know anyone but me, and I do not know anyone but them. So, if we offend such devotees, if we commit blasphemy or vilify such devotees, criticize such devotees, Krishna, we can never chant the holy names of Krishna attentively. So even if we see some fault in devotee's character, we should actually overlook it. We should only focus on the good things, good qualities. Everybody is progressing on the path of spiritual life. Nobody is perfect. If we were perfect, then we would be in the spiritual world. Better to think about one's own faults in one's own spiritual life and just focus on them. That's a lifetime project. His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu said that he used to find faults in other devotees, but then he started finding faults in himself, and he said, I found so many, so I don't have time to find faults in others. So fault finding mentality is not bad, but it is bad if you apply on others, apply it on yourself. And I have heard in classes that all these 10 offenses can be mitigated by chanting more Krishna's name more, but except two offenses. One is blaspheming the devotees, and second is committing sinful activities on the strength of chanting of the holy name. For these two offenses, one has to suffer. One cannot overcome them simply by chanting the holy names. One has to suffer in order to get free from these offenses. So this is the verse from Padam Purana, which says that all the offenses in the chanting of the holy names can be overcome by chanting more. नामापराधयुक्तानां नामानि एव हरन्त्यघम् अविश्रान्ति प्रयुक्तानि तानि एवार्थकराणि च. The chanting of Hare Krishna is recommended for persons who commit offenses, because if they continue chanting, they will gradually chant offenselessly. Even if in the beginning one chants the Hare Krishna mantra with offenses, one will become free from such offenses by chanting again and again. Of course, one should have that mentality that I want to improve. So, but the first and seventh offense, one has to suffer for them. So be conscious while, you know, you don't want to criticize devotees unnecessarily. Um, and also sinful activities on the strength of the chanting of the words. Second is Shivasya Shri Vishnur Ya Iha Gunanama Adi Sakalam Dhiya Bhinnam Sakhalu Dhiya Bhinnam Pashit Sakhalu Harinama Hitkara. To consider the names of Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be on an equal level with the holy name of Lord Vishnu. So this is about considering the demigods to be equal to Krishna or independent from Krishna. They are all incarnations of Krishna. For example, Lord Brahma is the mode of passion incarnation, guna avatar of Krishna. Lord Shiva is tamogun. So, of course, they are not independent from Krishna. They are dependent on Krishna, but they are not equal to Krishna. So one should understand this properly. Um, Prabhupada explains in the purport that there's another way to understand the same offense. It's the Shivasya Shri Vishnu. So one way to translate Shivasya is name of Lord Shiva. Another way is to auspicious. Shiva means auspicious. So Guna Namadi Sakalam. Lord Krishna's name, form, pastimes, qualities. To see them differently is also an offense. There are so many different names for God. Allah, Jehovah, and so many qualities, pastimes of the Lord in different um, places, time, place, and circumstances. To see them differently is also an offense. There's a one quotation by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur that when I visit other people's holy places which are not of the same faith, I still offer them respect. Of course, this kind of worship is different from the kind of worship I am used to, but I still offer respect and honor that kind of worship. So one should not see differently. Srila Prabhupada, he saw somebody chanting in the Islamic country who was chanting the names of Allah, and Prabhupada said, "Yeah, this is the process." And even if they were not chanting Hare Krishna, that's not. I mean, of course, I'm paraphrasing it. Prabhupada did not say it exactly, but he actually appreciated the chanting of Allah's names. Recently, we were at UC Berkeley, Adinath Krishna Prabhu, myself, and Suvarn Bindu Prabhu, Balram Gopal Prabhu. We met a student, his name was Muhammad, and he was used to chanting La ilaha illallah. So Allah is the supreme, and there's nobody higher than him. So he had beats, and then he joined us in chanting Hare Krishna. He also played the drum, and he sang and he danced with us, and he was very open to learning philosophy. At the same time, he was a devout Muslim. So this is beauty when we can appreciate the glories of the Lord in different traditions. Prabhupada says these are not differences, this is variety. So, third is Guru Avagnya, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master or to consider him an ordinary person. Krishna says in Srimad Bhagavatam, Acharya mam vijaniya nav mannet karhichit na martya buddhya suyeta sarva deva mayo guru. 11, 17, 27. One should know the Acharya as myself and never disrespect him in any way. One should not envy him, thinking him an ordinary man, for he is the representative of all the demigods. So, yeah, one should not see a Vaishnav or an Acharya as ordinary person. Because they are representative of all the demigods, they are representative of Krishna. There was a there was a point somebody asked that do we really need initiation? And Prabhupada actually emphasizes on initiation. There's a purport, I think it is CC Madhya 15108, where it is said that one does not have to be initiated in order to chant Hare Krishna. But in the purport, Prabhupada quotes Chief Goswami and he emphasizes on the importance of getting initiation. It is said that if there is a bona fide teacher available to initiate you and you don't accept initiation, then you are committing third offense against chanting the holy names. This is from one of the acharyas, which is, yeah, for that you will have to take birth again so that you can get initiated and chant under the shelter of a pure devotee. Fourth offense is Shruti Shastra Nindanam, to blaspheme the Vedic literatures or literatures in pursuance of the Vedic version. So there are many, many literatures other than Vedas um, who are acknowledging the Vedic knowledge and who also are in alignment with the Vedic knowledge. So we should appreciate them in pursuance of the Vedic version. So um, we can see what is the philosophy when people would come and ask the devotees of Srila Prabhupada, what about this Swami and that Swami? So they were not sure how to answer. So they asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, people are coming and asking us about this Swami and that Swami. So Prabhupada would ask, what is his philosophy? What is the philosophy? So people can have different philosophies. They might be reading the same books, they can have different interpretations. So when we know the philosophy of the person, then we can appreciate it. There's a very nice book called Beyond Illusion and Doubt, which is the compilation of Prabhupada's view on different philosophers. So Prabhupada tries to understand the philosophy and gives them credit or discredit based on their philosophy. He's not judging the person, he's just judging the philosophy. So we should appreciate these different texts according to their merit in light of the Vedas. So when many times we hear Guru Maharaj, Vashishka Maharaj quoting different authors who are not so-called devotees, but if their message is in alignment of Krishna consciousness, then they can be utilized. For example, Brian Tracy, if you divide any big task in smaller tasks, chunks, and you take one slice every day, you can finish any big task, even reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So you can apply that principle in your devotional service. So there's no need to renounce those kind of ideas if they can be utilized in Krishna service. Fifth is Arthavada, to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. And I will cover the sixth one also. Hari Namni Kalpanam, to consider the glories of the holy name of the Lord as an imagination. So Arthvada means that I try to give some my own understanding on what Krishna Hare Krishna means. Of course, there can be so many different ways we can understand Hare Krishna. Hare means the mother nature because Radharani represents Hare. Krishna means the Supreme Father or the whole existence or one who ends material suffering. These are all Krishna's names can be explained in millions of ways. There are so many ways you can explain them, but they have to be in accordance with the Vedic texts. Many times I also say that Hare Krishna means that I need help. So it's a prayer to engage ourselves in service of Krishna. Prabhupada said please, O energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Radharani, O Krishna, please engage me in your service. I need help. So if we hear it from acharyas and we follow that in a way which is relatable for the people, that is very nice. I also say it's good wishes for you when you say Hare Krishna, it's a greeting. When people say, oh, how do you greet each other? Namaste in India. I say, yeah, we say Hare Krishna. Yeah, this is how we greet each other. This is a good wishes for you, for others. Are you remembering Krishna? You're remembering Radharani. So that means you're wishing good day for the other person, right? So it has to be in alignment and with the Vedas, or not giving some of our own interpretation. And then to consider the glories of the holy name of the Lord in, as imagination, as we understood, we have to have faith. नाम्नो बलाद्यस्य हि पापबुद्धिर्न विद्यते तस्य यमैरि शुद्धि. To think that the Hare Krishna mantra can counteract all sinful reactions, and one may therefore go on with his sinful activities and at the same time chant the Hare Krishna mantra to neutralize them, is the greatest offense at the lotus feet of Harinam. So, in this chapter where Ajamila got liberated, there is a commentary by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur at the end of the chapter 6 to 49. So where he explains why Ajamila was not committing this seventh offense. Although he was chanting the name of Narayana, who was actually he named his son as Narayana. So he at the same time he was committing sinful activities. He was killing, he was robbing people, he was committing all kinds of sinful activities. But he was not doing it, he was not chanting the name of Narayana in order to nullify his sinful activities. He was chanting his name because it was his son, because he was his son. This Narayana was named his son was named as Narayana. So because of that, because of he was not consciously chanting them for, yeah, so it's not an offense. So ultimately, he gives the example of a fig tree. As we continue watering the tree, the more and more figs come about. Similarly, in devotional service, the more we chant, the more we can see the results of chanting. So, because of his chanting, he was saved by Vishnu Dutas. So, that is the effect of his chanting. His sinful activities were nullified because he he was not committing the offense consciously. His sinful activities were nullified, but because his chanting continued, he got association of Vishnu Dutas. Because of his sinful activities, he got a, a token reaction because he has to see the Yamadutas also, which was so fearful. We see the description that he was so fearful, he was crying like anything, he was so helpless. So he received some kind of reaction also because of his sinful activities, but it was so minimal. It was so minimal. Krishna reduced everything to a token, and then he got the second chance to perfect his life. So if one is not committing an offense, ultimately he will be freed. He will get an opportunity to relieve himself from all those reactions, to develop love for Krishna and go back to the spiritual world. So, yeah, that is that. And eighth is to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra to be one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities or karma kanda. So karma kanda means when we perform dharma, vrata, tyaga, huta, religious performances, vows, renunciation, yajnas, for getting some material results in return. So Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is definitely a holy service, but it is not meant to get something from the Lord. That means we are employing Lord in our service. Actually, it is meant to develop our service attitude toward Krishna. In that sense, it is different from Karma Kanda. It's not Karma Kanda. Ashraddhane vimukhe piyashinvati yashopadesha shivanama prada. It is an offense to preach the glories of the holy name of the Lord to the faithless. So many times Prabhupada would go to the programs, there would be chanting and people will be happily chanting. This happened in Stanford University. We were reading in Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita and there were people dancing. And then somebody asked the question about drafting. There was war going on that time with Vietnam, it seems, and they were asking about Prabhupada's views. And Prabhupada said, because you chose this government, it is justified that you have to go through this drafting. You chose your government, and those people cannot take it. They were not so respectful to Prabhupada. So Prabhupada stopped it there, and maybe they did another chanting, and and they left. So many of the people cannot understand the philosophy, and the philosophy is meant to help us chant Hare Krishna. So if people cannot appreciate, then we can just simply go and do Harinam. You know, we have Kirtan nights on Tuesdays in the temple. Many times people come for just listening Kirtans. They might not be able to appreciate the philosophy. So no need to tell them about chanting, about why they should chant and what is the importance of chanting. If they, at least they can listen to the holy names. So we don't have to preach the glories of the holy names if they cannot take it. We can just sing it. And as a musical entertainment, it is said, Sanketam Parihasyam Va, Stobam Helaname Va, Vaikuntha Nama Grihanan, Asheshagharam Vidhu. This is 6 to 14. One who chants the holy name of the Lord is immediately freed from the reactions of unlimited sins, even if he chants indirectly to indicate something else, jokingly, for musical entertainment, or even neglectfully. This is accepted by all the learned scholars of the scriptures. So Prabhupada says we should make people imperceptibly liberated. They won't even know that they are getting liberated. So that's the service of the Vaishnavas, even if they are not receptive.
Which verse is that?
This is 6 to 14. Okay. The last is Shrutepi Nam Mahatmai Ya Priti Rahito Nara Aham Mamadi Padmo Namni Sopi Apradkrit. If one has heard the glories of the transcendental holy name of the Lord, but nevertheless continues in a materialistic concept of life, thinking, I am this body and everything belonging to this body is mine, aham mameti, and does not show respect and love for the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, that is an offense. Yeah, it's one of the hardest things to give up, false egoism. So that's why we should take time to go to the retreats like Sadhu Sangha retreat, Japa retreat, where we can immerse ourselves and experience the bliss of chanting Krishna's names. So false ego is very difficult to give up. And seeing other devotees, how they are giving up sense gratification, how they are serving Krishna, one can get rid of this offense, although it is very difficult. Api pramada, it is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. I asked for one tip from His Grace Mahosaya Prabhu yesterday for chanting. He said, go to bed early. So I think that's one helpful tip, how we can be attentive while chanting. You know, if we go to bed early, the mind won't be so agitated in the morning time and we can focus on our chanting better. Okay, we stop here. We are already over time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Thank you, dear devotees, for joining. We'll resume tomorrow. Hopefully, you can hear from. Okay.
But maybe you should give class again because you'll be gone for a while, and next verse is very important for us.
Okay.
So it will be nice.